Birth control is extremely harmful and dangerous to women. Women have no healthier options for birth control, as well as men have no options as well. Birth control for men is very stigmatized and not talked about whatsoever. Whether it's because they see it as embarrassing or it's seen as taboo and people just don't want to talk about it, or whether it's just not researched and there's nothing to talk about. Men need more birth control options as well as women need healthier options for birth control. Over half of women you know take birth control and suffer from these horrendous effects. All birth control options that are available for women have a plethora of effects and risks that women may face when having to take them. As people, we need to stand for the health of women and for men, and we need to advocate for healthier options for birth control, as well as options for men. We need to advocate for more vasectomies to be done, as they are reversible and completely healthy, and we need to stop the stigma around birth control and periods and men's birth control and contraceptives, and we need to advocate for the health of women and men. I personally have suffered from birth control and the effects that it can have on you. I have suffered short-term and long-term effects from this. One effect that I have suffered is extreme weight loss and weight gain. I unfortunately will have a very large appetite for a period of time and I will eat a lot and I will gain a lot of weight. And then I will end up having no appetite and I will not eat anything and I will lose weight rapidly, which is very unhealthy and happens to me quite often on birth control. Another thing I experience is very intense hormone production. So I get my shot for Depo-Provera for birth control every 3 months. And when it gets time to that 3 month shot time, I get very anxious and I have very intense emotions and my face breaks out in intense acne. I have intense period cramps and symptoms, way more than I would if I wasn't taking birth control and having a natural cycle. It causes damage to my uterus, and I have had cysts form, and just lots of other things that I have had to go through, unfortunately, due to birth control. I was put on the injection of Depo-Provera at a very young age. I was not given any information about it besides that I will have it every 3 months and that it'll probably stop my period, which it did. I don't bleed and I just have all these other symptoms instead now. I was very criticized for my weight gain without any consideration that I had all these hormones now pumping through my young body, and I had no way to regulate that. That was very hard for me being judged for my weight gain and how much I was going through without them even considering what they were putting into my body. Many women have to fear the same or go through the same or unfortunately go through much worse. All birth controls will have effects, and you will have to endure something like all medicines. They have some type of effect in any way. They can be temporary or they can be permanent. They can be extremely harmful or not harmful in any manner or what you consider harmful. A journal titled The Use of Long-Acting Reversible Contraceptive in the Depo-Provera Shot in Adolescents talks specifically about the effects of the Depo-Provera injection in adolescents. The author discusses the long-term and short-term effects that Depo-Provera can have on somebody, which is the birth control that I personally take. So the effects that I already talked about will be some that you have already heard. The effects can have serious damage to your body, and these effects can include cirrhosis, diabetes, vascular issues, menstrual irregularities, like I spoke about, and weight gain, acne issues, hair loss, decreased libido, headaches, and even mood swing changes, as I discussed. Extreme mood swing changes at that. These are just some short-term effects, and these are what are most commonly experienced by Depo-Provera users. There are a few long-term effects that the author discusses as well. These are more rare issues and less affected, but still serious issues that can be caused. Things such as amenorrhea, bone density loss, which could possibly be reversible but still is very serious, infertility, for short-term and long-term periods, meaning they have a 9-month waiting period that you should wait after Depo-Provera before trying to have a child, and you may have to wait even longer or possibly forever be infertile. This article is by Intriva. One of the most common birth controls is the pill. The pill is most commonly known for how poor effectiveness it is compared to other competitors, as well as how misused it is compared to other competitors. A journal titled "It's Those Pills That Are Ruining Me" by Crystal Littlejohn discusses the effects that birth control, and specifically the pill, can have on you. Some causes that the pill can have, or some effects that the pill can have of taking the pill, are weight gain. You can experience nausea, mood swings, and much more that all coincide with many other birth controls. Women endure the side effects and pain and suffering for more inconvenience when they take the pill. Things such as Depo-Provera that I take have to be replaced every 3 months, or the patch that take every week that you have to replace. The birth control pill you must take every day, which is very inconvenient, and it is known as the least effective contraceptive out there. So the pill is not a very common thing when birth control is being considered because of how ineffective it is and because of how commonly it is misused. Researching your birth control is the best option you could possibly have. Knowing what you're taking and what is in your birth control and what you want to put into your body is just the only option that I see when taking birth control. It is one of the healthiest options you can take, and you can find what best fits you. An article titled "Women's Views About Contraception Requirements for Biomedical Research Participation" talks about the positive and negative effects that birth control can have, and some reasons why women may not want to take birth control as well. Articles like these are helpful and very educational to women and help decide what might be best for them in their situation. There are 7 categories discussed in this article, and these categories include reproductive control, health effects, prevention of fetal harm, a burden on women, deferral to authority, autonomy regarding enrollment in birth control methods, and relationship concerns. These different groups of women had different reasonings for not wanting to take birth control: health effects, future fertility issues, suspected mistrust in marriage, infidelity, many other reasons. Articles like this give all angles of birth control and many reasons on why women wouldn't want to take birth control, as it is very harmful and can be very detrimental to someone's health. This article lets women know that they are not alone when it comes to birth control, and that they can seek help and they can seek others and know that there is research out there and there is help for them out there, and that they can ask questions if they have any. As I said before, research is so important when considering birth control.